Hi, so we established what CRO is and the impact it can have on your brand in our last video. If you missed it, do well to check that video out. Today we are going to speak about the CRO specialist and what they do practically. So a CRO specialist is a specialist who works on your website to help optimize it for purchase conversion. Like we established the last time, when we talk about conversion rate, we are talking about purchase conversion, right? So in the world of a CRO specialist, conversion rate is really the number of purchases you get as a business on a monthly basis divided by the number of traffic. And we also established that an e-commerce brand should aim for conversion rate of at least 3.0 and higher. And so a CRO specialist, their first job is really to do what we call a site audit on your website, which is a holistic, quantitative and qualitative analysis of your website, just to understand user behavior and how they're interacting with your website in a bid to profile solution that will help take your website conversion rate from where it is now to where it can be. So if you are doing anything below a 3.0 conversion rate, you might want to reach out to a CRO specialist to help you out. Because what that means is you have avenue to make more money, but you are making less because your website is not structured in a way to help you maximize your profits. So a CRO specialist carries out a site audit with a number of tools. One of those tools is a powerful tool from Microsoft Clarity. With Microsoft Clarity, a CRO specialist is able to get insight into quantitative data in terms of heat maps, sections on your website. So heat map is the number of clicks on different sections of your website. So you see a screenshot as I'm speaking, so you get a sense of how a heat map looks. So with the heat map, the CRO specialist is able to know areas on your website that are important and the number of clicks that are actually happening on those different areas. So let's say, for instance, you have a snippet section where you have displayed your bestseller on your home page, but that snippet section is now captured at the footer of your website, and most users don't usually scroll all the way to the footer most times. So you might discover that you are getting very few clicks on that bestseller, but a bestseller snippet section is a good way to show your bestsellers and it's supposed to get a lot of traffic. So a CRO specialist can recommend moving that to the second fold of your website, so that once users scroll once, they're able to see your bestsellers. So that's a very practical example, because your first fold is the landing page on your home page that users see once they land on your website, and that usually has your hero image, announcement bar, your call to action button. After that fold, you should be able to highlight your bestsellers alongside with anything that relates to your affiliated business partners. That is the section, the second fold, you already captured that. So that is a practical example of the kind of things a CRO specialist looks into to help you optimize your website for more purchase conversion. They are focused on revenue, so that is why they are very important. A lot of e-commerce brands that are future forward thinking brands are actually engaging the services of CRO specialists across the globe to help them optimize their website for more purchases, whether on a full-time or on a contract part-time basis. So right after a site audit is conducted using tools like Microsoft Clarity, Hotjar, and other quantitative tools, again, a CRO specialist also leverage qualitative data in terms of integrating website survey on the website. So There are some e-commerce websites you visit and you see either the left or the right bottom of the website, you're able to see a place where you can take a survey. And it's usually a short survey, maybe like 5 questions, but really carefully crafted questions that helps the CRO specialist understands users' pain points, what they are currently enjoying from the brand, what are still their pain points, what are they still looking to get from the brand that the brand is not currently offering. And of course, they also get insight into future products that the users might be longing to get, but they are not currently getting it. So with that insight, you see that even with that insight, a CRO specialist can go back to the brand to say, hey, this is what I got from my survey, and this is what your customers are saying, and these are the kind of products you can consider developing or adding to your inventory in the future. So the work is just more than optimizing the website, but it's really also giving business insights to e-commerce brands. So once all of that analysis is done, like I said, is a site audit. It's not just the home page. A lot of the work will even go into the product page and the individual product pages. How are they arranged? Are users able to find what they are looking for on time? Is the checkout process, streamlined? All of those things. And are there broken links here and there? All of those technical bits, CRO specialists will pay attention to document and also show this is where we are now as a brand, but this is where we can be as a brand. So a CRO specialist will come up with a site audit report. So with that site audit report, a brand will decide on 2 things. Either to have the CRO specialist implement the changes if the CRO specialist has agreed to that in their contract, or they can have their dev team and their creative team implement all of the changes, right? So the changes can be implemented by the dev team internally, or it can be implemented by the Shopify expert, or it can also be implemented by the CRO specialist if they have the technical abilities to really make changes on a Shopify store. But the most important thing is really the importance of a CRO specialist role in not just upping revenue for the brand, but in terms of customer acquisition also, and in terms of business insights. So it's just more than optimizing the website. They are really paying attention to the loopholes and possible revenue channels that businesses are currently not leveraging that they can leverage. So if you are that brand and you don't even know where to start, you don't know how to go about even calculating your conversion rate, because that is where you need to start from. If your conversion rate is great, then keep doing what you are doing. But if your conversion rate is less than 3.0 or way less than 3.0, then you are leaving money on the table, and you can consider reaching out to someone like me who has both Shopify expertise, and of course I've also done CROs specialist job for brands, so we can help you take your business to where it needs to be. See you in the next one. We're going to discuss something more interesting, so stay tuned and have a great day.